All right, so I'm going to start by making sure everyone's involved. So I'm going to ask a question. All right, who here growing up was a chunky child? All right. All right. All right, now who here growing up as a chunky child got invited to that friend's pool party? Yeah, I know. All right. Now, who here, growing up as a chunky child, that got invited to that friend's pool party, decided to wear a T-shirt in the pool? Yeah. All right. So, basically, this speech is going to be about being able to laugh at yourself, right? So, like I was saying, I was that kid growing up that went to the pool party and wore the T-shirt, right? I laughed at myself, but other people laughed along, right? And growing up, it kind of made me be able to be more comfortable with myself, you know? I remember at the pool party, a friend of mine was like, hey, Jordan. I said, what's up, man? He was like, how many months have you been pregnant, right? You know, I had a beer belly to go along. I don't drink at all, never drank a day of my life, but I have a beer belly. He goes, how long have you been pregnant? And I go, oh yeah, that was funny, that was cute. And you know, you do the straight face. Well, I gave him that, right? Another friend comes up to me, same pool party. He goes, hey, Jordan, you win the wet T-shirt contest today. I'm like, yeah, guys, this is great. Straight face. So this eventually ended up making me become a bully. I ended up becoming a bully because everyone bullied me, so why can't I bully other people? Now, growing up as a chunky child, I was usually, most times, the biggest kid in the room. So being the biggest kid in the room, you know, I went to a private school my first grade year, and you know, in first grade they already have the cool table established. They have the not so cool table established, and then they have the kids that make all the A's but nobody really talks to table, right? So I'm trying to go to the cool kids table because God knows I'm not going to the straight A table, and I don't want to be in the middle. So I go to the cool kids table. What's my way in? My way in is arm wrestling because I'm that big kid. So I go, I arm wrestle everyone. I'm beating everybody, right? But then, keep in mind, I'm about this tall in the first grade, wide. I'm a big kid. But then, this girl comes. She's about this tall, and she's a pretty big kid. She goes, all right, I see. And this is, I'm doing her voice right now. I'm doing her voice. She goes, all right, let's see what you got. I want a shot. So she gets down. She puts her arm on the table. I put my arm on the table. I'm thinking, oh, this is about to be a piece of cake. I'm about to have my way right into the cool kids table. They say, ready, set, go. I'm thinking, all right, let me just see what she got. So I'm holding her up. My arm's starting to shake, and I'm like, all right, I think I might need to finish this now. So I go, all right, you ready? She goes, yeah. I go, I'm like, all right, I see what you got. Let me try one more time. No? All right, one more time. And next thing you know, she ends up beating me. I lost my way into the cool kids table. So I can't sit at the smart kids table because I wasn't there, never got there. So I go to the middle table. Now, at the middle table, because I know in the first grade, I know I belonged at the cool kids table. I know, I earned my way up there. I beat all the guys, but then comes Hercules, and she just happens to beat me. I deserved to be at the cool kids table, so I'm thinking, why am I at the middle table, right? Now, because of this, I'm thinking I'm better than them, so I'm gonna bully them so I can work my way back up to the cool kids table so I can be the funny guy, since I can't be the strong guy because there's a strong girl in the dang class. So I'm making jokes. One of my friends, he had a huge gap in between his teeth. Another one of my friends had you know how we have 4 heads? Well, my friend had a 5 head. So I'm teasing him about that. And we're all just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And of course, you know, growing up, I didn't stop being chunky until I was 13 years old. So from first grade all the way up to 7th grade, they were teasing me about my beer belly and my man boobs. So I wasn't getting there was no progress there. So it was just a bunch of guys going back and forth with jokes. So this eventually ended up making all of that table, and the middle table, we all ended up being comfortable with ourselves. Unlike the cool kids table, who, if you crack the joke on them, they're thinking, well, dang, I guess I'm not as cool as I thought I was. Or the kids over here, the smart kids table, you call one of them dumb, they're like going to their mom, telling them, Mom, I don't think I'm smart anymore. I think I just lost it all and everything, right? So you have the middle table becoming the cool kids table because we were okay with laughing at ourselves. So when someone cracked a joke at us, we were able to either, one, laugh at them or laugh with them at ourselves. So they're thinking, what's wrong with this kid? Why is he laughing at himself? I thought I had him, right? Or two, reverse it and throw it right back at them, which they weren't ready for because they were the cool kids table, so they didn't have any problems like that, right? So after we started becoming the cool kids table, the actual old cool kids table, they started catching on to this trend. This trend happened to be a card game called Yu-Gi-Oh! Does anyone know what that is? Yeah, the cool kids. I mean, they were hardcore Yu-Gi-Oh guys. I went to a private Catholic school, so we could barely bring anything there. But I'm talking about they came decked out with the little wrist thing. They had all the cards laid out and everything, right? Yeah, right? So they ended up becoming the middle table, and we ended up becoming the cool table. And in the process of becoming the cool table, you end up realizing, what is it that makes me cool? It's because I'm comfortable with myself. My brother, he has Tourette syndrome, and every once in a while he has his tics here and there. And even though he has his Tourette's, he's able to laugh at himself. And he is my inspiration and my role model. Even though I joke him so much, he really is. And basically, he helped me, just like he became comfortable with himself, he helped me become comfortable with myself. So the point of this is to be able to laugh at yourself, be comfortable with who you are, because I don't know about you, but life didn't go to the pool party and win the wet t-shirt contest. That's it.